And now joining me on set is Mr. Tezarized. Now, as we are approaching the general elections, which will be in August 2021, those voter registration exercises that we're going through, the mobile issuance of NRCs was for a purpose of people obtaining their voters' cards, which came to an end last year. So if you didn't get your voters' card, unfortunately, you will not participate in the general elections, which will be in August. So now, since we're headed those directions, he's come through to just let us understand the importance of keeping the peace and unity as we head towards elections. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you. Good morning, viewers out there.
Now, before we get into maintaining peace and unity, getting towards the elections, let's understand the word Caderism.
Okay. There is a very big misconception about what Caderism is. A cadre is simply a small group of people that are trained for a specific profession and purpose. And that group of people has to understand the ideologies, the objectives of that particular organization. So in the political sense, a cadre has to understand the political party's manifesto. A cadre has to understand the objectives of their organization. A cadre must be able to understand our national values and principles and ensure that those principles are actually upheld and put into practice.
Okay.
There should be that operationalization of our national values and principles. And a cadre has a critical role to play to ensure that the operationalization is actually expedited.
Okay, so what is the role of a cadre in a political party?
One of the roles of a cadre in a political party is to promote peace and unity. A cadre is someone that should stand against hooliganism. A cadre should be able to stand against violence, consternation, and all kinds of pandemonium that arises during the time of election or during any particular time when there is a political frenzy. Even when we're just living normal lives, cadres should be there to uphold the peace and the unity.
Okay, so what you're trying to say is that the common behavior of a cadre isn't the actual role of a cadre in a political party?
I'll tell you the misconception. I'll use the word cadre itself. C-A-D-R-A. I'll start with C. Caderism is not about being cruel, hooliganistic, psychopathic, or it's not about being brutal. Caderism is not about being arrogantly aggressive, where someone is just opinionated and domineering, just wanting to do things their own way. Caderism is not being despicable and dangerous, being a menace to society. No. Caderism is not being rough or being a ruffian. No. Caderism is not about being egocentric, where you just want to peddle the bicycle of your selfish interests at the expense of national unity. That's a misconception. Then I'll tell you what true Caderism is. And I use the same letters to explain this. Caderism is about being courteous and civilized. Courtesy is an act of civility. Cadres must be civilized. Caderism is about being amicable and approachable. They should be sociable. Cadres should be gregarious and outgoing. When I'm passing through any station, for example intercity, I shouldn't feel like I'm passing through a den of lions. When I'm wearing red, then I have to fear for my life when I see people who are wearing green or vice versa. No. Caderism is about being disciplined and decent. That's true Caderism. Disciplined enough to uphold the peace and unity. Disciplined enough to uphold the rule of law. Disciplined enough to desist from any form of violence and hooliganism. Caderism should be about being empathetic. You put yourself in other people's shoes. What I'm doing to my colleagues.
What if it was to happen to
Exactly. The golden rule has to be applied. I'm a Christian. Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. Then Caderism is also about being reserved and reasonable. Reasonable enough to promote peace and unity. Reasonable enough to apply objectivity in whatsoever we do. But today there is so much mudslinging, bad-mouthing one another, vilifying one another, throwing tantrums at each other. That's a clear sign of gross political primitivity, and we need to grow out of that. And cadres must understand that political strength is not measured by the zenith they reach in climbing up the mountain of hooliganism. It is not measured by how much political tension and consternation they can diffuse across the broad spectrum of our society. But political strength is measured by the scale of peace, unity, love, togetherness, tolerance, and all other virtues that can contribute to our national amalgamation.
Great. So how do you think, or what do you think should be done to make sure that as we head towards the elections in August, there's no all this Caderism, all this violence and political fights?
Unity in diversity is the principle that we should apply. What do I mean? There should be unity without uniformity. There should be diversity without fragmentation.
I should get a dictionary. I need a dictionary.
Let me break the ice. Regardless of our different political affiliation, creed, ideologies, views, idiosyncrasies, and so on and so forth, there should be room for tolerance. Let us use those differences to solidify and cement our national togetherness. Let us not differ on the basis of tribe. Let us not differ on the basis of which political party someone is hailing from. Regardless of our ethno-linguistic disparities, we are one Zambia, one nation. Zambia, I look at Zambia to be a flamboyant flower, or Zambia to be our national flower, and all its different tribes, political parties and so on are the flamboyant colors.
Beautiful
colors that add beauty and elegance for it to stand out as it is today. So let us take advantage of our differences. We cement them. I mean, we inculcate them into our governance system so that we can be a stronger and a healthier Zambia.
Okay,
Without
great.
peace and unity, we can't put our nation on the pedestal of economic growth and progression.
Okay, so now before I let you go, I'm sure a lot of people have gotten to understand what a cadre needs to do in a political party. Because honestly, before this, it made it look like a cadre is like the gangster of a political party. Because most of the times when you hear this political party was fighting this political party, most people that participate in such are cadres. So now getting to understand what a cadre is supposed to do in a political party, then they're doing the wrong thing. So as we head towards the general elections in August, what is your advice to every Zambian that's watching out there?
My fellow citizens and patriotic Zambians, let us show patriotism. Let us be nationalistic and Zambianistic enough to ensure that we uphold the peace and the unity. There's nothing we are going to gain out of fighting, out of all these squabbles and wrangles. Let us apply objectivity in whatsoever we do, and let us remember that we only have one Zambia. We don't want to start fighting running battles. We don't want to start seeing corpses lying on the streets of Lusaka or Zambia at large. Let us live together as one united big national family. Remember, it is one Zambia, one nation, and do not be used as political mercenaries who are paid to wreak havoc. Do not be used as tools and conduits of political violence. Say no to violence. Then you are a true Zambian.
All right, Mr. Teza, thank you for coming, sure.
It's been my pleasure being hosted.
Thank you. We hope to see you soon. Obviously, near the elections, so that you remind the people that they need to keep the peace and unity.
I can't wait to be
Next time you come, I'm coming with a dictionary. So
please do so.
So So I was just having a conversation with Mr. Tezas telling us what a cadre is. And I'm sure you have learned one or two. I know I'm not the only one that used to think a cadre is only supposed to promote political violence, but we've gotten to understand the role of a cadre in any political party. Now,